we can understand the advantages of cooperatives in three ways. They provide ownership, control, and benefit. Ownership by capitalists is purely about profit. By law, capitalist companies have to consider only the needs of their shareholders. So ownership in a cooperative immediately puts another kind of patron at the center of the organization, whether it's consumers, producers, workers, or in social cooperatives a mixture of people. It's the people who need the service provided by the business. That's the first thing. The second thing about ownership is that nobody can take it off them. And they have a tremendous strength that comes from that. Ownership leads to control. Sometimes, of course, managers, boards of directors get out of control, but that's a common problem in any kind of large, complex organization. Cooperatives have to face that problem just as investor-owned businesses and public sector businesses do. The important thing about cooperatives is that they provide an opportunity for people to constantly call their boards of directors and their managers to account, constantly to challenge them to align the interests of the business with the needs of the members. So that's the second point. The third point is about benefit. Who benefits from the business? Well, if I were to try to invent an organization that stops investors and managers from taking enormous amounts of money away from ordinary people for very little reason, and if I were to suggest a way of doing business so that all the profits go back to the people who own the business as members, not as investors, then you would say this is a miracle. But it exists, and it's a large part of the cooperative, it's a large part of every business sector. But the final thing that I want to point out is, in particular, cooperative banks and credit unions have shown that there's a different way of doing banking. And now we actually have reached the point where we realize that if we don't bank cooperatively, the world economy is never going to recover. So bank with cooperatives, bank with credit unions. That's my main message, I think.